What's good, everybody? Hope all is well. This is Zachary King from the Future is Female podcast, and I'm sitting here with Nina. Nina, how are you doing?
How you doing, Zachary? I'm good.
I'm in a good space. Thank you for asking. So for those who don't know, please tell the listening audience a little bit about yourself.
My name is Nina Washington. I am a manager in the entertainment industry. I'm currently managing soul singer Carla Gamble, straight out of Philadelphia. I am a media think tank, brand consultant, mastermind.
Got you. Mastermind. I like that.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to say that and put that out there like that.
I love it. What made you get into management? What's your background like?
So my background actually has nothing to do with music, which is interesting. I am more of a finance person, so I came from a corporate background. Started out in nonprofit, building nonprofits, restructuring them from the ground up, board governance, things like that, helping them build their brands, graphic art, back office systems and designs, small business digitization, things like that. But that was like personal into my own self. Mm-hmm. And, I knew Carla because, Carla's my spouse. I'm actually married to Carla, which is pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. And so I saw her doing music and I'm like, hey, you should let me manage you. And you know how spouses are. She's like, no. Mm-hmm. No. I'm going to find somebody who, knows how to do this, that knows how to be a manager. And I'm like, well, you should give me a try, give me a try and let me try to manage you. And then when I did that, she let me start in 2017, started managing. And so I got into management because I knew that I would succeed at it. I was real confident that I was going to be a good manager just because of my corporate experience. And so... yeah, that's how I started.
So you were saying, you was asking her for the opportunity. What made you feel so confident in it, though?
I was successful in the corporate world. Okay. So the way, I think in systems and structures, I know Carla is a brand. My hobbies growing up included like theater and music. So I used to dance ballet, jazz, modern for like 15 years. So I was in like the arts, performing arts and things like that growing up. And so I stopped, in my 20s, I stopped doing it. And it's when I met Carla, which was like in my 20s. And it was like, all right, I can do this. I already kind of know the background of it. And to add the corporate management to the entertainment world was kind of like the synergy of just kind of natural flow of things. And so when she said yes, and she allowed me to do it, and then we started working together, and our marriage was so strong, our union was so strong that the working relationship made it a lot easier. So it's like I can think, I can see that vision for Carla. Like I can see where she wants to go, and can kind of point her in that direction as a manager.
Is there a lot of more pressure because of that way? Like, is it because of the fact that she is your wife? So it's not a situation to where it's kind of like, not saying you would walk away for someone else, but it's like the fact that you have to go home to this every day. You have to go home to her every day. Does that add on additional pressure? Because I can imagine like me and having like a wife and we work together. It's like I'm almost always on, so to speak.
Yeah. So because we both find enjoyment in it. I love managing her and other things as well, but I just love being a manager. And it just made it a lot easier because we can talk about music all the time. It's never like a time where it feels like work. And it's not hard. It actually is harder with others. But it is a fine line that you have to walk because how you would critique someone else that isn't your spouse is not the same way you critique somebody that you're in a relationship with. Right. I can imagine. If there's a wardrobe, I want to wear this, and I'm like, so if your wife says, how do I look in this? You're going to say, you look great. That's your first. Right. But like as an artist, it's like, you got to say, well, you want to try something else. It has to be like this, the word and the language that you have to use is just a little bit different because you don't want to offend. Because that is still your partner. Still your but it makes it good because it's a way that you can gingerly do that to others, so that can resonate in other areas where you kind of like learn this level of patience and this level of care, and it's almost what you would call a customer service, like this customer service unto the person that you're servicing. And because we are partners, there is like this exchange of power, so to speak, in a sense of like, I lead, she leads, and I suggest, she suggests things, and it just works. It really does. And it makes things happen a lot faster because we're always working. So we might be on vacation and, we both hear a song or, I don't know, see something that resonates as like something
inspiring, right?
Yeah. And like, she'll just start saying, I should write a song to this. And I'm like, you know what, you should, versus, having to call someone like a manager or, someone to say like, hey, I got this idea. And they're like, oh, I'll call you back. It's like in the moment. So we're always creating something in the moment, and it makes it really like a great experience.
Really experience.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest challenges that you have? Like when you booking her for a venue and people find out that that's your partner, right? Mm-hmm. Is it like, well, she's only trying to book her because that's her partner, Oh,
we never lead with that.
Okay.
You would never know.
Gotcha.
If we didn't tell you, you would never know.
Gotcha.
They would just say that's her manager.
Right. Okay.
Carla slips sometimes and says my wife because she's looking for and she's also looking for comfort in that moment. So it's like I need the person that's like I'm trying to get into this or I'm in this venue and I need help with this. And so she'll call for me as her wife, even though she's really calling for her manager.
Right.
But for the most part, no one really knows unless they're really like in tune with us and, deeply to know that we're married. But other than that, it's very professional. Because outside of Carla, I have a professional career as well. So, it's almost like I'm sharing two worlds, my music world, entertainment world, and then corporate professional world, which I using the word professional lightly because the music entertainment world is very professional as well. But corporate professional, which is more so like higher education, big business, Fortune 500 companies, things like that, that don't care who they're listening to. They're not listening to entertainment in that sense.
Right. Totally understand. Let's talk about like the fact that you are a woman, that you, identify as gay, that you are from Philadelphia, that you are Black. Mm-hmm. How have those things been, have they been pluses or they've been minuses? Like, how have those things been?
I think it's very interesting because I'm so authentically myself that I'm just myself. So I don't try to be anything that's not me. I present a little bit more masculine than most women. Carla's very, flowery and light and things like that. But because I'm authentically myself, people like the genuineness of it. And I really don't tend to have a problem navigating through the city. I love Black men. I think that they are like one of God's gifts to us, and so I support them. So I have brothers, all kinds of brothers, trap brothers, street brothers, and, and I also have, church brothers, and I have, music brothers, and, because I am genuine, they feel that same love and that resonance that they get from that female, that female energy, that feminine energy, and it really does support them in whatever they're trying to do, whatever. I have friends that, go from jail, trapping, wanting to start a t-shirt business. And I'm like, how can I help you? Like what you need? You need a website? What you need? So that support, and being in the community has never like caused a problem. I don't really get disrespected. And I also maybe don't put myself in situations where I have the ability to be disrespected. Right. But yeah, as a woman, like I truly resonate with the feminine experience. But I just, I'm just a different kind of woman. So
I see that, and I get that. And your energy is really powerful. You got a really strong presence about you. You mentioned about working with others as well. Are you open to like mentorship and stuff like that? Because I can imagine with you with such corporate, you got a wide range of experience from the corporate world and now into the music world. So I can imagine like someone is asking like to be underneath your tutelage.
I'm under someone else's. I talk to those who kind of like, by the grace of our Creator, by the grace of God, I was able to be connected with people who have a lot of experience in the music industry, and really, they don't show you directly. You got to sit under it. Like you really just got to sit under them and kind of learn. I am so busy.
Right.
So to try to dedicate time to like mentoring somebody, I probably don't have it. But if they came and sat with me, I take them everywhere.
Okay.
You know, like
I
would introduce them to everybody I know.
I get it.
And you know, I would show them here. I would rather show you how to be successful because I don't have the time to do it for you.
Right.
Than it is this. So I'll give you everything. The knowledge is the thing that we're supposed to share.
I agree.
You know, it's like they call Socrates and all these other Aristotle and all these other geniuses that they list as scholars. The thing that with education and knowledge is we have to share it. And I think the more knowledge that you have, if you don't share it, if you share too much of it, they'll call you crazy.
Right.
So you have to be careful what you share. But I think that is the success for our future is that we have to, you know, whatever I know, I'll give it to you freely.
No, you know what though, and it's sort of like one of the things. Shout out to All Money Shots, Vern.
Yes.
All right, so one of the things he talks to me about is staying in the flow of money, right? And just staying in the flow, like going through the ups and downs of money. And it's sort of like that with information as well. You know, you're going to go through times where you're just giving so much, and then sometimes you may hold back a little bit, and then sometimes you're going to go back, and you're going to go. It's like staying in that flow of being able, because it's like we're learning like that as well. There's times where we're able to absorb so much, and there's times where it's like, man, I gotta get into bite-sized pieces because it's so much. With that being said, let's also talk about, are you looking for other clients as well?
Currently I'm not looking for other clients. I do have other clients that I work with and I have in the past, but I'm an investing manager. So it is an expense usually tailored towards the success of whatever I put myself to. So I'm not going to pair myself with something that ain't successful, but I also am going to be spending my money on it to make sure that it's successful until I can return on my investment on my endeavors of what I'm trying to do. So with that being, I'm not looking for anyone, but I'm open and willing to help. And that's where I say like sharing the knowledge is like, it may be like a little thing here that you just need to get you to that, you know, like, and I can just give you that. I think monetizing knowledge is something that most people do. That's what we're taught to do. Like, you know, like the more you know, the higher up you get. And the less work you do, the more, you know, you get paid because you get paid then for your experience of things. And I think at the level, because we came from nothing, like when I say nothing, I mean we didn't have an inheritance of like nepotism or someone putting in a place. We really came from the mud, from the muscle.
Absolutely. So, I made the point. Excuse me, I'm sorry, cut you. I made the point a few days ago where I was saying like a lot of us, we was able to look at a system and able to figure it out. Right. And we was able to like just say we use a music as an example. A lot of us is able to hear music and was able to write just from that alone. We didn't put it in a book for those who come behind us. Yeah. And then what happened of it is it left us detached because not everybody was able to have that same musical gift. So now we're in the process now where we're actually leaving the clues for those who come behind us. Yeah. And that's the reason why like platforms like this and other platforms where we could sit down here with Anina and have an honest conversation and have that where she could drop a couple of jewels for those who want to come behind us and they're able to pick up where we left off, but maybe even take the torch even further. Yeah. With that being said, what are some of the things you want people to know about getting into this business? Because I'm pretty sure they see Carla on stage, but they don't know what goes on backstage. Oh, yeah.
If you're getting into this business, you should be dedicated. Like Carla mentioned, like being locked in. You really gotta be. It's not a hobby. It has to have prosperity in it. So the first thing would be to measure your current level for where you are, and then move throughout the next step as you try to aspire to the goal that you set for yourself. So if your goal is to, let's say, win a Grammy, well, you got to be in a recording academy. So maybe your first step would be, well, what do I need to get into the recording academy? So those steps, the measurable prosperity, and it's your goal. It's not going to be anyone else's goal, but set goals for yourself. And when you achieve them, set more. I think being alone with yourself, praying a lot, meditating, writing down your vision of what you see. Carla had a vision board, and every morning she would write down on her vision board certain things, and I would walk past it and just read it and keep going. And
Right.
but it was her vision board, and she would do it again. She would write take it off and then do it again. So I think that having the focus and locking in is before you try to do anything else, and don't give up. It's
so easy to, right?
Yeah, they give up right.
So
it's like right
easy to.
before. I seen a meme where it was like a diamond, and the guy was
digging for the
digging
diamond.
for the
right,
diamond. He was right there, and
right.
he turned around and gave up.
Right.
And I think, like you said, waiting for timing. I think earlier in the interview you were saying something about timing. It's not ours, and we never know when. So if you're
Right. working
and you're prepared, be prepared.
Right.
So if the opportunity is there and it comes, you're so prepared that, you fall right into it and you make it a lot easier. And don't chase after things that you may see on social media. It's an illusion. It's not who they post to be. It is a lot of work, or it is something that is branded just for content to be able to get your attention. There are people who analyze those types of things, who know what triggers are going to get you to look and tune in, and, all of these different things. And half the time the people behind them aren't even this, in their personal lives, they don't act, they're not
Right.
even the same. So don't get caught up in what you see, but just kind of be true to yourself.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Well, with that being said, is there anything else that you would like to add?
I don't, let me think. Download and stream Carla Gamble's music.
Okay, great.
Visit therealcarlagamble.com website. I did design that website from scratch, so there's some things on there you can see that resonates back to me as well. Check out the music section, album covers and things like that, as some of the graphic art and design. Look at the layout. Those types of things that are on that website is what you would need for the Recording Academy. Like if you wanted to get into that, or a membership there, so that's a great place.
You're dropping a lot of jewels here. You're dropping a lot of jewels. No, I'm hoping that anyone that's interested, man, female, boy, child, don't matter. I hope they're listening to this and really picking up what you're putting down, because you're dropping a lot of jewels for not just for the here and now, but for when you want to go further.
Oh yeah.
So I definitely appreciate that. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful. Hey, look, let me just put this out here, y'all. It was a challenge to sit this woman down and have this conversation.
It's my first interview.
First interview. So to have her and drop this and be so transparent and be so authentic. Another thing, hold on, before I let you go, I want to talk about confidence, because that's another thing that I feel like a lot of women, I don't want to say lack, but I feel like they're looking for a lot of approval. Mm-hmm. So how did you move away from trying to find approval and just walking into your own sense of self, especially as a manager and managing someone else who have, and being responsible for their future, basically?
Very interesting stuff. When Carla first came out as an artist, she was so shy that I used to go on stage for her, and I used to, you ready to hear some good music? And I would hype up the crowd, like, come on, y'all. Very different from how you tried to get me on this interview, because that was work and I had to do it. And so I pumped confidence. You have to be confident and own it 100%. But within that, I don't want to be famous, right? So I love to be the anesthesiologist, is what I call it. There's a surgeon, and when they do open heart surgery or do something successful, the surgeon goes out and they talk to the news and the media, and they talk to all the cameras, but you can't have the operation without the anesthesiologist. And they actually get paid more than the surgeon, but you never see them. You don't even know who they are. And so I don't mind taking that role. So personally, I'm confident in a setting where I can, speak, or, if I'm in a room and we're in a meeting, I'm going to be very confident about my facts because I'll have been prepared.
Right.
But in an interview setting, it's hard to get me to talk because, for one, I just, don't desire the limelight of the spotlight. But I appreciate this interview, and I love your platform.
I appreciate it.
And I respect you and what you're doing for women.
Appreciate
so
that.
you got me.
No, I appreciate that. And let me say that too. I respect you as well, because by your management, by your gifts and you applying them, you're changing the Philadelphia music landscape here. You're changing that. You're putting someone in place that I believe there's going to be a mainstream artist in no time.
Absolutely.
So I'm definitely appreciate having the both of you two ladies here.
Thank you.
I agree. I'm greatly appreciative of everything. I thank you for your time, your effort, your energy. your story and your perspective. So one more time, tell me where people can find the music at and get in contact and do what else they need to do.
You can follow me at Just Nina 215 on Instagram, JustNina 215 on Instagram. You can visit therealcarlagamble.com, which is Carla's website. You can follow The Real Carla Gamble. Download and stream Soul Static, dropped on January 19th of this year. And it features all Philadelphia local musicians, including Carol Riddick, Chris Odom, Shannon Woodall. We have some great musicians on there.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to them. That's where you can.
Cool.
That's where you can.
With that being said, I thank you. Thank you for your time, effort, energy. I hope to have you back here anytime that I can extend my platform to the both of you ladies. You guys got it. Okay.
Thank you.